This episode of Capes and Lunatics is brought to you by Tweaked Audio. Get awesome headphones, go to tweakedaudio.com and use the coupon code Southgate to get 30% off, free shipping, and a lifetime warranty. Or you can get there through the link on our website, southgatemediagroup.com.
This is Brian Edward Hill, and you're listening to the Capes and Lunatics podcast.
There's a thin line between heroism and madness.
Here the line fades to nothing at all.
This is a world of Capes and Lunatics.
And nothing is off limits.
Good evening. We're back. Back for more. Back for punishment. Just punishment, right? That's right.
Wrong podcast, Phil.
Ding!
Welcome, penitents.
And I'm the one who hasn't been drinking. All right. Fun and games on a
Friday. He says.
Fun and games on a Friday night. Prepare yourself for Capes and Lunatics, episode 111.
Triple ones! Play it!
And if you win the lottery, send us something. Capes and Lunatics, episode 111. Starts right now. Hello and welcome to the Capes and Lunatics. I am Phil. Joining me as always, that fancy man from New Jersey.
It's Charlie, the Professor Essa.
The secret mob boss of Florida, and she's awake.
Hey y'all, it's Lil Pelfire. Thanks for the intro, Phil Petty.
Every episode, you know I'm stubborn.
See, I thought when I said play it, you were going to hit the music, because it would be working on the pun of the term play. Then you just, then you hung the tail on it. With,
Which wrestler was that hit the music?
I don't know, Philip.
I thought you were the big wrestling guy.
No. There's a small area of wrestling when I was totally into.
Well, this was back in the day. This isn't now. I don't watch wrestling now. I'm not my father.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I enjoy the modern wrestlers. They seem all very much in shape. That's actually my biggest complaint about modern wrestling. It's like nobody is big anymore.
Nobody's Mick Foley anymore. I agree.
Well, I mean, not just Mick Foley, but like nobody's Randy Macho Man Savage. I mean, it's like
I discovered that was.
You got no Hulk Hogan. You definitely got no Andre. I mean, there's a few.
Listening to one of our other podcasts.
Oh yeah, what was that Ultimate?
I'm just saying, back in my day, our wrestlers were roided out, okay, and we liked it like that. They looked like superheroes. Nowadays, they're all healthy and athletic, and they look like professional athletes. And it's like, well, goodness.
Or movie stars.
Where's the fantasy in that?
Take drink, everyone. Anytime one of us says it. Back in my day.
Oh, God. You'll be drunk before the halfway point.
But no, yeah.
Penultimate.
Douchebags. Anyway, I learned the other night when me and Lilith were recording, Macho Man was one of her Was that the favorite Lilith wrestler of yours?
From that era, of course. But then in The Rock, before he has become this huge giant.
There is a classic wrestler. He's big all over, and I like that.
And I really like looking back at the retrospective of Andre the Giant. That's a little bit before my time, but
yeah. He's he always reminded me of my dad. My dad wasn't a giant, but he was, from Europe and liked to drink beer, so.
That's when I started.
Same thing.
A trait that is passed down, apparently.
It's genetic.
Yeah. Boy, yeah. Yeah. But, no, actually, my favorite wrestler as a kid was... Well, my favorite wrestler as a kid, of course, was Andre the Giant. Though I always loved George the Animal Steel, too.
Wow.
He was George the Animal Steel, man. He was,
I for sure would have pegged you for Ric Flair.
No, all the fancy... See, I'm not a fancy man, Lois.
You keep saying that, but we don't believe it. We don't think that...
The big, hairy, dumb guy, that's kind of me. That's kind of... It's like, yeah, man. Elizabeth!
I
loved her, but you know.
I thought you'd be like a King Kong Bundy fan.
Well, no, King Kong Bundy was like the heel to Andre the Giant when Andre the Giant was being a face. So.
Okay.
Because King Kong Bundy was the big bad guy wrestler.
Was it a work or a shoot?
Although I did love King Kong Bundy in both Stir Crazy and Popeye. He was fantastic in Popeye. Really, the great redeeming quality. You know, him and Robin Williams, I guess, really saved that whole film.
King Kong Bundy was good on Married with Children. He was on an episode.
Yeah.
Was he?
Yes, he was.
Okay.
He was at the family reunion. He was a Bundy.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I would believe that. He is King Kong
Up
Bundy.
in Wanker County.
Yeah. But the Bundys weren't from Wanker County.
No, it was Peggy's family, yeah.
Yeah, Peggy's family was from... They weren't Bundys, you know. The Bundys actually were city folks from Chicago. They were, you know...
Yeah.
They were a whole different kind of
4 touchdowns in a single game.
Yeah.
I love how we're trying not to sound old.
Man, they just don't make it like they used to. I'm sorry. They say it's the golden age of television, but all I get is stuff that puts me to sleep. Right. Looking at you, Handmaid's Tale, season 3.
I'm just saying, if it's not Beans Baxter, what are you doing?
I mean, look at all the reboots and, you know, everything they're doing these days. I mean, how can you not think about the 90s? Oh, did you...
Wait.
What? It was the 80s. So, well, late 80s.
Into the 90s.
Maybe 90s kid.
Maybe the 90s.
Okay, anyway,
Philip? Like, what's on your agenda
popular
here,
culture that we'd like to discuss, sir?
Sure. 80s and 90s culture is pop culture. It's the only culture that matters.
Welcome to 90s Reboot Overdrive. Anyway. But I just saw this article not just today. Speaking of the 90s, did you see who wants to reboot their old TV show?
Lots of people.
Dean Cain says he has an idea for Lois and Clark.
We're going to get an answer about that damn baby?
That's what he said. It'll be about them raising.
Oh, because they have Jonathan now. It actually makes sense.
Yeah, he said they could have a show about, you know, him teaching the kid how to, if the kid has powers, teaching the kid about his powers.
Don't we have a show like that already, though?
Yeah. Well, actually, you know, I've always felt that's an interesting story because, like, for the first time, it would be interesting just because Pa Kent could actually spank Superboy. and it would be like this sudden thing, like, oh, okay. Like, how would that, like, really, Superman is this great person, but literally was never spanked.
You don't need to spank your kids, bro. That's the moral of the Superman story.
One imagines, except, you know, not for nothing, Brightburn didn't turn out okay.
That's because he wasn't from,
he wasn't from...
I'm just saying, well, okay, if you want to say because he was genetically perfect, which is honestly just a little bit of a spooky place to put Superman to start with.
Exactly.
You know, especially since no other Kryptonians seem to be so morally perfect. Because they all seem to be like really horrible beings.
Supergirl.
Except for him.
Supergirl, like
yeah,
that.
Supergirl and Krypto would like to have a word with you.
So maybe just the House of L was good. It's like, but all of the other ones, for all the genetic perfection stuff, I'm just saying. They don't seem to be
they doomed their own planet. And you know, Jor-El was the only one that had the foresight. Hey, let me get a rocket to get my baby the hell out of here.
Should have made it big enough for the whole family, though.
Maybe there was.
Then the sacrifice wouldn't be a tearjerker in every single damn movie.
Well, I understand that, but you know, at a certain point, you got to start asking that question. It's like
rule of cool, Charlie. Rule of cool.
You know, you built a rocket ship, yes.
A nice penis-shaped rocket ship to penetrate and permeate out into the universe.
Penetrate the star.
I prefer the egg-shaped rocket ship of the 80s.
Me too, personally.
I mean,
we all know how I feel about Snyder. So.
I mean, basically, you mean the John Byrne one? I mean, that was just the, his birthing matrix. Jor-El just strapped.
No, I mean the Donner one.
Oh, the Donner one.
Yeah, the one that actually looks like an egg. You know, it's like a little fertilized egg with the little facelli sticking off of it, and
Brando put him in it. It's like.
I'm telling you, if you have not seen the Donner cuts, you need to. They're great.
We should do
Donner was good at his job. There's no argument there.
Damn suits every time. WB. Damn suits.
We should do some kind of special. Do maybe like a live viewing. I mean, that might even be like 2 episodes worth of call.
Yeah, because it's actually the original cut, and then 2, which he got booted off of.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I would love to see the original Donner version of because the Donner cut I think is going to be way better than anything Snyder would have cut together. So
that would be a great special.
Yeah, that came out like right before Superman Returns in 2006. So if you don't own it, you should. It's great. A lot of good commentary on there.
We could call it the Donner Party.
No. You know, one of those guys went on to have a restaurant, and that just creeped me out. I forget his name, but yeah, and he used to, he played that up. That was sort of his selling point. He didn't actually serve human flesh there, though. Yeah, we know. We didn't really have an FDA back then, Charlie, so we're not sure.
Was that like the big selling point? You should see what I can do with good ingredients.
Yeah, well, no, but it just, he was one of the survivors of the Donner Party, and he went out to open a restaurant when he got to California, as you do.
Yeah.
That was probably his plan the whole time. I'm going to go to California and open a restaurant. And then he got a lot of publicity. And it's like Chicago, One jazz murder queen ain't enough of a show anymore. We need 2.
Remember, speak well of Chicago, because I guess maybe is Rob actually listening to these now? So speak well of Chicago.
No, he got a wild hair up his butt the one time. We're fine.
I actually have nothing against Chicago. I love it. I got family in Chicago. It's a beautiful town.
I went to Northwestern, so I have nothing against Chicago.
I would love to visit Chicago.
If I had guessed on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, I'd be living in Chicago right now.
Ooh.
Had I guessed and went for the second level and risked it all and made a guess on any one of the questions I got, because I actually switched it out and I was right, and I probably would have gotten it right if I'd really guessed. At least that's what I tell myself in my mind. But yeah, we would have moved to Chicago.
That's right, people. Our little Charlie was on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire back in the day.
Yep.
Wait, who was the host? Was it Regis?
We had the CBS weatherman. I'm forgetting his name. Not like he's done other things since then, but he's a cool guy. He's a nice guy, and
I'm like Al Roker. No, that's NBC. I don't.
No. This was
the only weather person I know.
Guy. Man, Dave Price.
All those white guys look alike.
Yeah, they do.
On TV, they kind of do, especially like weathermen.
Yeah, anybody in the news. Yeah.
I mean, that's why I have to wear the glasses.
Unless you're Stone Phillips, because Stone Phillips can get it until he's problematic. Now, Stone Phillips is out of Detroit, actually, so that's where he originated from. So,
D-Town, man.
It's hard to get out of that market, so that's very impressive.
Well, you know what? I'll be honest with you. Sometimes people just don't want to leave that market. It's actually one of the few cities where, like, a live musician actually can maintain a living, like, without ever actually, like, becoming big. They just...
Well, yeah, it's one of the hugest radio markets. It's like that. Yeah. Orlando.
We love it, and it's eclectic, too. You can be a polka guy and actually make a living in
That's
Detroit.
True, Germantown.
Germantown, Hamtramck, Lilith.
Oh yeah, Polish and Arabic. That's quite a combination.
Yeah. And not for nothing, everybody likes polka in Michigan, anyway.
I was gonna say, he must have not heard that episode of the podcast. Polka is my torture music in hell.
Oh, really? No. Okay. I mean, I'll take your word for it. It's like, how do you feel about klezmer?
I mean, anything with an accordion, I'm just kind of.
Well, the accordion is sort of like the lead guitar of polka, but really, it's really a very brassy song. It's almost oom-papa. You get, a good tuba is as good as anything in a polka band.
I love when what's her faces did that.
Hanson?
Yeah.
What?
No, I'm kidding.
Well, Widow Yankovic actually directed the video for Mbop.
Did he?
Really?
Yes, he did. Yes.
Wow, we're down the rabbit hole. Anyway, I was gonna segue.
That was the first video we ever got to direct.
I was gonna segue off that Lois and Clark story. Lilith, have you watched season 2 of Krypton yet? Any of that?
No, I keep meaning to, but it's on at such a weird day.
Yeah, I know. It's like Wednesday at 10.
I think it's technically on demand, Lilith.
I just want to watch them all in one go because it's only like 10 episodes. So I'm waiting for the season.
I don't know. I just wanted to know if Lobo was getting on your nerves like he's getting on my nerves.
Oh, who plays Lobo, by the way?
Who's that guy?
Some nobody.
I think he's an actor. I had never heard of him, but
that's Krypton except for Colin Salmon. It's like everybody's a nobody except for him.
I think they're all British, aren't they? Or Australian or something.
Well, yeah, there you go.
He's the guy who was not famous enough to say, "Don't put me in white makeup."
Emmett J. Scanlon.
Okay. Well, see, that's good. They don't have to rely on Doctor Who to employ all their actors anymore in Downton Abbey.
It's a whole new world to live.
I'm happy for the British actors. Maybe they can stay over there instead of trying to take good American jobs. I'm kidding. Hashtag still bitter about Batman being British again. Just still bitter.
Fight me.
What American actor would you have cast as Batman, Lilith? Name one.
Armie Hammer.
I thought you said
I kid because I hate that guy.
I was going to say, he's been up several times. I mean, Armie Hammer is just...
He's like, it's my turn, damn it.
You have a stroke?
Armie Hammer is like the real life, any of the guys who were like the 50s Captains America. Burnsides or Mace. He's like, I was a Captain America too, man.
I love his baking soda.
Oh my
Funny
God.
story, I think he actually is related to the Armie Hammer.
That's all I think about when I hear that. The first thing I think about when I hear that, just like,
yeah.
oh, Armie.
Well, the Hammers are like crazy rich, so there actually is.
Yeah, because Justin sells all that tech.
Oh man, you know what was crazy? I was watching on Wisecrack. Screen Rant is doing the pitch meetings.
Yeah.
And I just realized this. You know that whole lollipop? Well, I mean the Jolly Rancher thing with Lex Luthor. That he's totally stole from Hammer in Iron Man 2.
Oh,
Iron Man, Armie Hammer's always got the lollipop in his mouth, and it's like, oh, wow, there is literally nothing original in that film. I'm Batman v Superman. I'm discussing.
I know.
Well, it's
Oh, and I do want to say that was the best aspect of The Punisher on Netflix.
What?
Just to give a little teaser for that, they basically do Batman v Superman, but actually make it a good film.
What?
It's basically Batman v Superman. It's the Martha scene, but they actually make it make sense between Pilgrim and the Punisher.
Oh yeah.
Where
it's been so long ago since I watched all of the Punisher.
Yeah, but it's like, wow, that's how you would do that scene.
Well,
and not make
or
it
just not do it at all.
Well, Lilith, you can jog your memory every Friday if you listen to Just Punishments right here.
I know, I edit it. Hello.
Yeah, there's only a few episodes left, kid. Yes. Well, they chided us because we didn't know that Lou Diamond Phillips actually has been doing a lot of directing lately.
Just had to call y'all out. Just for the
I know.
Just let you know I am listening.
Well, I would hope you're listening since you're editing it.
Yeah.
Some people, they just look for the little markers and cut out all the silence. I listen. I don't even listen at 1.5 times speed. I listen at regular speed. I can't do
Oh, nice.
Well, she's an artist. She's a perfectionist.
I try.
She does. She succeeds. Hey, we're going to talk about comic books or movies or anything aside from
what?
Old pop culture.
Well, we're kind of just waiting on Homecoming to come out at this point.
Oh, yeah. That's going to be good.
Yeah. The sneak, I think Crystal went to the sneak preview. She said it was really good.
Pretty much all the reviews I've been seeing say it's good.
Well, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't really trust critics, people that I kind of have similar taste with, because she calls out a couple movies. I was like, oh, good, it wasn't just me. Because I am a contrarian, but not for the sake of it. Just I generally feel sometimes about certain movies everybody likes.
And programming note: don't look for our Far From Home review here next week. You can find that only on the Ultimate Spidercast on Capes and Lunatics side.
Because we're selfish douchebags and we need the views.
Well, there you go.
It's all part of the team. It's all good. It's basically
But if you're just subscribed to Capes and Lunatics, doesn't it just show up in your feed regardless?
Well, you have to get Capes and Lunatics sidekicks. Charlie.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. But if you're in this Capes, I'm sorry, I didn't realize that you could do that. People did one and not the other.
It's 2 separate feeds on the podcast.
Okay. So. Okay, I understand now. So
it's all one big family on YouTube. 2 separate feeds on podcasts.
You act like you're not listening, Charlie Esser.
He's subscribed to both.
The problem is I listen too much, Philip. That's the problem because they're just because I get like all these. My biggest problem is I get the doubles because something will air on one feed, it'll air on Enough Said, and it'll air on Capes and Lunatics, and it's on the side. It's like I've heard this. I've heard me talking 3 times already.
I was going to say the other thing doubling is you, my friend. I mean, every show it's just you.
Oh, that could be the problem. I'm so lovable.
It's true, though. We agree.
Okay.
Needs a commercial. Lilith, have you been watching Swamp Thing?
Yes, but like, I don't know. Like, I'm like disheartened about everything that it's just like I'm savoring it.
Got canceled?
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't finish this week.
Wait, is it actually canceled or they just...
No, it's canceled. They canceled it, but they could reboot it if Warner Media... Not reboot it, but continue it quickly to get all the contracts and all that stuff in order if Warner Media gets it together by like the end of the year, I think it is.
Just kind of put the whole thing on HBO. They have a platform!
Yeah, but HBO Go has an issue since Game of Thrones has ended. Their subscriptions dropped dramatically, and they don't really have anything prestigious enough to really carry it to... It's
Hence
like a whole
why
thing.
You move everything there.
HBO doesn't want that, though. So it's like, that's like their prestige thing, and they don't want to, like... It's like a whole thing.
They've got Watchmen coming back. Or they got Watchmen coming, which I'm excited about. They've got Westworld, which one of these days I will actually watch. Watchmen, look, I give Alan Moore a lot of guff. There's no denying that. But it was a good story.
But it's not based on that story. It's only set in that world tangentially.
Exactly, and the further away they get from Alan Moore's stuff, the better it becomes. It's set in that world.
I feel the opposite about that. Okay.
Charlie Esser doesn't want to get rubbed with the Alan Moore stuff, Lil. Come
on. Okay.
The man made a deal with the devil, and I will have no part of that. I'm sorry.
Well, I guess you don't listen to blues music either. It's fine.
Smoke the doobie. There's only a few blues musicians who have sold their soul to the devil.
All the good ones.
Well, yeah. See? Yeah. But they're all dead now anyway, so I can listen to their music.
As you know that they're rotting in hell?
Well, no, they're just... I have no idea what the contract said, Lilith. Quite frankly, they could be doing just fine. You know, it's not my problem. They made the deal.
So after Alan Moore's dead, you'll feel better about it. Is that what we're saying?
Damn. No, I'm just saying Alan Moore... I'm just saying... What my actual statement is that Alan Moore kind of got the fuzzy end of the lollipop in that deal. That's my honest opinion on that deal. That other people have done much better things with his work when they've moved away from him. I don't
know. It's HBO and like, you know, honestly with HBO, Game of Thrones is just like the cherry on the poop sundae. Like I've been pissed at HBO since Deadwood. Like, do you know how long ago Deadwood ended for me to be upset at a network?
Talk about.
Did you see the movie? The movie was really good.
I've been rewatching it so I can watch the season so I can actually get to the movie.
You know, the biggest problem with Deadwood was always that it was actual people. it's like these are like they actually are
it's actual historical Deadwood. Yeah,
and it's like, and honestly, Al Swearengen's ghost is like, really? They're saying what about me? Goodness.
Well, they're making it a little sweeter, honestly, than the real.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, you know, they've made Al Swearengen an iconic character in literature at this point.
How can you not? It's Ian McShane.
Exactly.
It's like the Peter Dinklage thing with Game of Thrones. It's like he's kind of a bastard, but
exactly. You know, in the books, he's just in the books. He's just a noseless troll. But now it's Peter freaking Dinklage. You know, I don't think Tyrion.
Adaptational attractiveness is a problem.
Well, hey, if you can get Peter Dinklage,
that's why
I want him to play me in my story. It'll just put him on an apple cart and shoot him up. It'll be fine.
Like they do Tom Cruise. It'll be fine.
Exactly. They're the same height, you know?
My name is Jane Smith, Jane Doe. I do not want to be sued. Hashtag South Park reference.
No, it's like they did when he played Etri, you know?
Well, get us out of here before we get sued. Segue.
Okay. Did you hear Michael Chabon has been named showrunner for Star Trek Picard?
Yes. I don't know who that is, so.
I don't know who it is either, but
they don't have a showrunner already?
It was just announced, and like they've been working through some stuff, and
I think they said it's been a couple weeks already, yeah, but they just announced a showrunner, yeah.
Yeah.
That kind of seems like the thing that you want at the start, because they've
not
filmed
necessarily.
Episodes, haven't they? I worry about production schedules sometimes, because it seems like,
I think it's going to be a lot of bottle episodes, personally.
Well, probably.
Because CBS Access is cheap, because they got Star Trek Discovery. Everything else is, with the exception of maybe Twilight Zone, is made on a very tight budget.
I mean, you could do that, too. I mean, if it's like towards the end of his career, I mean, you could flash at like different points in his career, especially after Next Generation or those movies.
Ugh. Yeah. Can we just not say that the movies are canon? Can we just all forget that? Because the last one, Nemesis, destroyed the universe so much so that they had to call J.J. Abrams.
It was fine. We got
much like Enterprise, it destroyed the franchise, and people will never forget it.
Ooh.
I liked B4, and the fact of the matter is, Lore, B4, and Data can all be the same character because they just have to add extra programming.
Fight me, nerd.
So it's like if B4 gets Data's memories.
That's what I was going to say.
Or Lore's memories. They just have to like click in a USB drive and it's like, oh, okay, now I'm also Data and I am also
Did they intentionally do that as a back door so you could you could bring Data back at any time? All you do is, yeah.
Yeah, Brent Spiner's just itching. He's like, no, don't replace me. I'm still alive.
Brent Spiner needs to eat too. And
Big Bang Theory is ended, so Star Trek cast needs Next Generation cast needs a little help.
Yeah, and I don't think Brent Spiner has done a lot of directing, so.
No, that I will not call you out on, sir.
Yeah, so I think Brent Spiner, he not every actor makes a great director, and he's like, I'm an actor, I do comedy, I do fun stuff. I loved him in Night Court.
A lot of directing, but you don't hear from anymore. Jason Priestley.
He's on some cable show, isn't he?
Is
he? Yeah, well, I forget what it is. What channel is that?
I just remember he used to direct a lot after 90210 ended, and then just poof.
I think he's actually doing more acting now. I think he's back to acting.
Yeah, I think he has some shows, like a detective agency or something, I thought.
Oh, good for him.
He's on one of the Hallmark channels,
Oh, okay, that explains it.
Hey, my wife watches those, so...
I don't think it's Hallmark, but...
I only watch it during Christmas. Their Christmas movies are amazing.
Yeah, my wife only likes it when they kill people. I mean, she likes the Christmas stuff too, but they're doing Christmas in July.
Oh, and The Good Witches. I'm not gonna lie. Good Witch is really a good show, actually. Only because it has that lady from JAG that I watched that. But...
Oh, by the way, speaking of stuff you want to call out, I just want to say everyone should watch Mr. Iglesias. If you like 80s, if you like 80s sitcoms, this is a good one. And we get an apple juice shout out in I think the 4th episode. So
I freaking love Mr. Hot and Fluffy. Okay, I've been a fan of his forever.
Yeah, so Mr. Iglesias, me and my wife were watching it. It was actually a lot of fun. It's a great sitcom. If you liked Head of the Class, you'll love this. And it doesn't retread the same areas as Head of the Class. So it's a good show. I'm
happy for him. He's actually really funny. I love all of his stand-up comedy specials.
I just hope he doesn't die of Eskimo pie poisoning.
He's working on not doing that.
I know he is, and you can tell.
He wants to live to spend that money.
Yeah, it's like, there was, I think was it Dark Horse that did the American series, and it's just one of those lines where, after the American, seemingly dies, but then he comes back, and this little kid who saw him die, dies of a heart attack, and they just say, the child died of what appears to be a severe Eskimo pie abuse. And it always struck me as this, beautifully horrible thing to say, and it's like, man, I don't want Gabriel Iglesias to die of Eskimo pie abuse. That's all I'm saying.
I don't like how you're going to go out. I just see Tristan Esser on the news. I had told Dad, don't eat the 20th one, but he did.
Well, I like Gabriel Iglesias. I'm trying hard, I always liked, I remember Bobby Hill said, I want to be the first chubby comedian to live past 40. And I'm already 45, so I'm doing okay, kids.
Damn it, Bobby.
Yeah. Because he said when his dad was worried he would start doing it, he said, Dad, I'll never do drugs. I want to be the first chubby comedian to live past 45. But no, no, but you can tell because he actually has a whole subplot in that about how he's in AA. And I like that, unlike other shows where AA is a plot point, it's not like the driving force of his character. Looking at you, Mom, you're funny, Mom, but, every episode doesn't have to be AA.
But if it wasn't Alice and Janie, let's be honest, we probably wouldn't be watching. It's kind of like 2.5 Men. You can only really have that lightning in a bottle with those two specific actors, I think.
Yeah, I think, that's what I was going to say. I think all the actors are good on that show. I think that.
But she's the linchpin for sure.
2.5 Men. Oh, you mean Tiger Blood and Lex, yeah.
He was a great Lex, man. I don't care what you
think. Good. I enjoyed his Lex. Oh, he gave decent Lex. Come on.
I mean, compared to what we've had in recent times, sure. Yeah. But honestly, I like Kevin Spacey. That's a dangerous thing to say, I know. But I liked him in Superman Returns.
I liked everything in Superman Returns except for shooting Superman in the eyeball. That was like the one thing that just really ruined that
effects budget.
Spacey was good.
That's not a special effect. It's just a weird thing to do.
Well, it's fine, Singer. No, Spacey was good, but they wanted him to so much be Gene Hackman, though.
Yeah. And they wanted Brandon Routh to be George Reeves, so it makes sense.
Christopher Reeves.
Yeah, thank you. The other Superman that ends in Reeves.
Although, interestingly enough, Steve Reeves was also Superman at one point. And one of the Superboy's last name was Reeves.
Take that, Cavill.
That's the thing is. Honestly, I'm always freaked out whenever they have a Superman not named Reeve or Reeves. It's like,
I know.
I don't know. They're not of the House of Reeve. I don't know if they can handle this.
Well, and turns out, with the exception of Brandon Routh, they can't.
All right, so one more news story, and then we'll get to comics.
Yay!
Did you see who they're trying to court now for the Eternals movie?
Is it Keanu Reeves?
No.
Writing, acting, or
acting?
Directing. Oh.
I believe it's acting. Yeah, Salma Hayek.
The Rock. Salma Hayek. Okay. As Thea, or do they already have Thea cast?
They didn't say who, but
okay.
Either way,
she might make a great Circe.
Yeah.
Oh, I love Circe as an Avenger. You know what I love about Circe as an Avenger is that she is like historically a villain in Ulysses, and then no, actually I'm a superhero. It's like no, I just turned people into pigs because they were really awful human beings. Yeah. It's like Medusa, where you find out like, oh man, Medusa's the like tragic hero of that story. What?
Was that about Hair Day?
No, she was freaking raped by Poseidon, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, oh, punish the lady.
Yeah.
Don't get me started.
All right, should we get some comics?
Yes, of course.
Bill's Comics Corner.
All right, Lilith, I know you waited on Ultimate Spider-Cast. You didn't want to talk it because you wanted to wait for Charlie. Superior, is that what you got in your hand, Mr. Esser?
Yep.
Superior Spider-Man, number 8.
Oh.
The Bias Cast! You be my Avengers!
Well, I actually liked it because America Chavez. So, there's that.
What about Gwenpool?
That's
Gwenpool
Charlie's
is
thing.
so awesome in that.
Sit right there.
Gwenpool. You know what? She's the one who actually explains to Otto why you have to do your side quest. She's like the one person who can speak with him on his level, to be honest with you, because she is outside of reality. She is as elevated in her insanity as he sees himself as elevated above other people. That is why they are perfect together. I hope Superior Spider-Man winds up in our Gwenpool Strikes Back series, because that is such a moving scene with Otto and Gwen. It is just perfect.
You should, because with superiority comes responsibility.
Yes, it does. And then they save a bunch of side characters. But you know what? To them, it was important. They're real.
Yeah, I thought it was an interesting combination for sure, though.
You know? Yeah, although, speaking of Vengeance Against Frost Giants, man, well, we'll get to that, because there's going to be a whole arc with War of the Realms Punisher going after that Frost Giant. We'll get to that later. No, I loved this book. I loved Otto trying to write his own book, and Gwenpool just telling him, you can't write your own book, Otto. That's not what's going to happen, you know? You have to accept your role in this universe.
Have you seen the comics market these days?
You know what I found very fascinating? They drew Ben Grimm with a nose, like a humanoid nose, which I thought was a really interesting choice. You know, they don't always do that. Sometimes he has a very Minecraft style nose. You know?
I think some artists just have trouble drawing Ben Grimm sometimes.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, head. That could be it too.
And feet. Sorry.
Wait a minute. I just noticed this. Can Fuse grow wings? Not Fuse. His sister. I forgot his sister.
Oh,
because she was only in one issue.
Doesn't she have that silver suit that basically can like alter its shape and whatever?
Well, I didn't realize it could. That's my point. It's like I didn't realize that the what do you call it? The not adamantium, the vibranium suit just, you know, is manipulatable at her whim.
It might secretly be a symbiote.
Wasn't the thing? It's not like her superpower. She
why not?
A bit however she wants, maybe. I think.
You know what? They were very sketchy on who her father was. Maybe her father was a symbiote.
Don't give them ideas. Don't give them ideas.
I'm going to give them ideas. They're brilliant ideas.
Daddy's going to be a symbiote.
Yeah, we need a new one.
Well, I would love the idea of a human symbiote hybrid. Why would that not be a wonderful thing?
Yeah, well, who knows? Might be coming. Absolute Carnage is starting soon.
Yeah, that's limited series.
Don't. I'm not Tristan. I'm not big into Carnage. You know.
I was gonna say the other way you're getting those books is like, Dad, can you give me that Absolute Carnage at the store? Charlie's like,
I don't like Carnage as a character. He's not interesting. Although apparently we have Norman Osborn coming back. I guess his face got fixed, so that's good.
I don't know if that's even 616 Norman, or I
don't think it is.
I think they said it's that one from Spider-Geddon.
Yeah.
That one with spider powers or whatever.
Okay.
That's not original Amnesia Boy. It's
But that's one of the universal things about all Osborns.
What that
bad hair and amnesia and the ability to just subvert death again and again and again.
Take goblin gliders in the chest like a champ.
Tis but a scratch, my friend.
To be fair, they kind of point out that even if you in Spider-Man Annual this week, even if you die in one crossover event, there is another universe in which you didn't.
Spider-Ham.
Mandela.
Well, because they have a thing about Parker Peterson, who's the six-armed Spider-Man who I guess died in Spider-Geddon. But in another universe, there's another six-armed Spider-Man who just sort of dealt with it and became very popular because he said, you can't hide six arms. So he taught himself different things to do with his arms. He's cool.
I
liked Spider-Man Annual #1. It was my pick of the week, obviously.
I knew.
Though I will say Superior Spider-Man came real close with the really touching pathos between Gwenpool and
every
Otto.
Spidey needs a Gwen. We get it.
The minute.
Oh yeah, man. Was it Spider-Gwen?
Yes.
Because he's a penguin. They're awesome together. They're awesome.
Spider-Ham, Ringmaster. The first thing I thought was
it's something Charlie Esser would like. Let me just put it to you that way.
Well, and then you come up with this secret roar at the end, and we get a great. And oh man, any comic book that has a bar scene, two guys in a bar talking, that is the best comic book you're ever going to read. And it's Howard and Peter Porker and Howard the Duck. And then, of course, in the reboot, it's Howard the Pork and Sparta Duck. It's all good. It is just brilliant writing.
See, that's why you should have finished Marvel Comics Presents number 6. Danny Ketch owns a bar now because he says something like, it dulls the pain of transforming into the Ghost Rider when he's drinking the apple juice.
Well, I get that, and I wanted to, man, but I only have so many days, and now we're recording on Fridays, not Saturdays.
You're not working. You have more time than me and Lilith.
I actually have to clean my house. I also do have 2 children that are no longer in scholastics right now.
I have to
school. Plus, I have to actually look for a job, which actually takes a lot of time.
Yeah, that's like a whole job in and of itself.
Yeah.
Schedule my blackouts.
Well, not only that, but I have to be sober when they call, Philip. Or at least I have to sound sober when they call.
Quick, brew the coffee.
I have to go, well, yes, of course I'd be available for an interview anytime tomorrow. Yes. But that was good. What else we got, guys? And when we Fantastic Four?
Yes. Live?
The DEMV, man. Department of Extraordinary Motor Vehicles are upset because Valeria and Franklin don't have their licenses. And I do love just how there is if you like superheroic bureaucracy, this is the book for you. I love that basically readers are like, yeah, we really should have had them get their licenses, We know we kind of relaxed on that. We just got back from the alternate universe,
Just got back.
And then you have Gargantua, who's upset about the microverse being micro. And that's a whole side quest.
Granny Goodness.
Yeah, a lot like Granny Goodness. There you go. Marvel now has a Granny Goodness. Enjoy.
In the microverse, yeah.
Yeah, and but then of course Valeria, because she's cocky, doesn't get her license, but Franklin does. And then of course, apparently the clay in Mount Doom is now radioactive with cosmic radiation. So what does Doom do?
Puppet Master.
Yeah, sends it to his old pal. What is the Puppet Master's real name?
Philip Masters.
I don't know. Philip Masters, yeah. Although what's interesting about that is in the Fantastic Four, was it the Marriage Annual special? We found out that actually Alicia's using the radioactive clay now too.
Oh yeah, to make him say yes.
So
Grim asked for her hand in marriage, yes.
And I'm wondering if that's going to be a canonical issue now. Is it going to be? Oh no, I've been using this stuff too. Which could cause all kinds of rifts between Alicia and Ben down the pike, where it's like, wait, you're manipulating people with the clay? It's like, well, only when they need to be.
Yeah. So, is it the Puppet Master you think that is going to be the cause of next issue? Because we're getting a Thing versus Immortal Hulk fight?
Oh, yeah. Oh, but it's in the Fantastic Four. I think Thing's going to beat him up. Not for nothing, I'm going to say this right now. Since the Hulk has gotten immortal, he's much easier to kill. Just saying.
But isn't that the thing when guys know they have a healing factor to rely on, they get kind of sloppy? Looking at you, Wolverine.
Yeah, well, that's what they said about Wolverine,
Mm-hmm. Deadpool.
Yeah, Deadpool. Well, Deadpool was always sloppy. That's the thing. Is like they say he's like one of the greatest mercs ever in his comic book this week. But
that's easy when you can't die.
Exactly. It's like I'm not sure that was ever actually. I don't know if that's demonstrable. That's my point.
Ooh. Drink. Lilith.
Yes.
I'm sure you read the final issue of Mr. and Mrs. X.
I did. I'm so bummed this is the last issue. She did such a great job with Gambit. Like, oh my God. And like the talk of babies, it was just like, oh, if this would have gone on, you just know we would have got a little crotch goblin.
You millennials, you're crazy. But I just love on the last page. It's kind of like them saying, "This is the cause why this book's getting canceled."
Basically, yeah.
You know what? I gotta say, you gotta blame Disney for that.
Oh yeah, I know you have your theory.
Well,
No,
yeah,
it's not even a theory. It's just kind of how things work there now. Everything has to be in tandem and go hand in hand.
The X-Men.
Well, no, what they need, it's like this. It's not that they need a Bible. And as Hitch, with his shade-throwing tweet, said, X-Men is a mess.
Everything is a mess, really, if you look deep enough, though. I don't think that it's fair just to say that X-Men's a mess.
As he points out about how many words he had to write to define what an Omega-level mutant is.
That was just him being a pretentious jackass as far as I'm concerned, because you don't need that.
I don't know. I mean, there are people that will say that Boulder's an Omega-level mutant, you know, because he's indestructible, you know. He has... Hey, if you have unlimited power at your disposal, Boulder is technically an Omega-level mutant, because he is infinitely powerful. He cannot be destroyed by any means that we've seen in the episode. Here's what I say: if Magneto, with his little magnets power, is an Omega-level mutant, anyone can be an Omega-level mutant.
Little magnets
power? They kind of went into that in X2 with the shade of it all, too, but...
Little magnet power?
It was an X3. I think it was X3 where they were throwing all that shade about it.
Didn't Magneto, knock the Earth off its axis? Little magnet powers?
I'm just saying. Yeah, little magnets powers. Basically, the things you stick on the fridge, that's his superpower. I don't know if he ever actually knocked the Earth off its axis.
Don't mutant shame. Come on.
Yeah, he
and it's not like knocking the Earth off its axis is that hard in the comic book universe. Because they apparently knocked it back. So
I don't think that's how that works, but we'll move on.
It does not work like this. That's not how any of this works, you know. But no, I mean, I'm not saying that Magneto isn't super powerful. But what makes him an Omega-level mutant isn't what his power does, but or at least arguably, what the limits of his power are. So, for example, Storm is an Omega-level mutant because her powers relate to anything that is colloquially called a storm, which is why she can control solar winds and cosmic storms as well.
Oh, hey, speaking of X-Men, I'm sure neither one of you watched the season 3 premiere of Legion this week.
No.
But Charlie, you might enjoy it. They get really into the time travel.
Mm-hmm.
But is it good time travel? Does it make sense time travel?
Is it
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. time travel?
Oh, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is so good about time travel. Well, they had the Bible, because it's Disney. So they had a time travel Bible before Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. did it.
Check out Enough Said.
Yes, so, it's like, that's what Disney does. All Disney wants is just to have a Bible. That was why they made all the Star Wars fans so mad, because they said, because it wasn't that Disney said, oh, you have to throw out all this. So they said, no, just make it consistent, so that as we work with this property going forward, we can say, okay, this is how the physics in this universe work. Yeah. This is what the Force is. This is how things happen.
Well, Legion's always trippy.
Midichlorians.
It's always trippy.
No, midichlorians are not the Force, Lilith.
I'm just saying, things can go off the rails very easily, is all that I'm saying.
Actually a symbiotic species that just happens to be around where there's a high force. So it's like testing, it's like how you test to see if someone has a disease, you look for the antibodies, not the actual disease.
The reverb on her.
And midichlorians are basically Force antibodies.
Boo. Nobody needed to know. Nobody really cared. Boo.
Well, that was actually before Disney bought them anyway. So
I know. I'm just saying things can go off the road. You try to over-explain things.
Disney didn't make the midichlorians. That was totally Lucas. And then if nothing else,
when you try to over-explain, sometimes you just do too much.
Need to get my unpopular opinion.
That's not an unpopular opinion, Philip. Get with the Star Wars community. Okay, that is not unpopular.
I imagine it's a very popular opinion.
Okay. But yeah, shout out to the last issue of Mr. and Mrs. X. It's so good. Even if you've never read it, you should read it just for the Gambit stuff. I'm so pissed we're getting shortchanged on the Gambit thing. I'm so pissed. Because nobody cares about Gambit like Kelly Thompson does, and it shows.
I know.
Lilith, it's entirely possible that once Hitch finishes the Bible, they're going to just give the Bible to Kelly Thompson and say, okay, write more, but just stay in the Bible.
She's going to be too busy.
Well, it's entirely possible, you know? I mean, when you're a good writer, you're a good writer. And who knows how many stories she even had.
I mean,
She could have went on for at least 100 issues is all that I'm saying.
I would have been fine with them leaving Gambit and Rogue out of that whole X mess and then just having them in their own, like, little...
pocket universe.
Yeah.
Well, you know, depending on how it ends, maybe they do. Maybe they leave them there. But it's just, okay, we're not going to deal with you guys right now because we're going to be establishing our new thing. And then when it's time, we'll just bring you out of your pocket universe.
We have to establish the new reason why Professor X is a douche.
Because he is.
I mean, because he's a telepath and he likes to
Because he's a
redheads. I mean,
villain.
that's enough said.
It's not a good guy power. Good guys don't have the power to control your mind.
And he's like, you know, he's that invisible mutant, the worst kind.
I'm just this kindly old man in a wheelchair.
That's what I will say.
Well, you know,
the only thing I liked about the last X-Men movie, they actually call him out on his BS. Like, that's the only good part of the movie.
You know, to be fair, I mean, you know, when you look at the Shadow, who is, of course, in many ways one of the first superheroes, and he is a dark, gritty anti-hero, you know, because his power is to control men's minds, to cloud men's minds, and he uses that to have people destroy themselves. Now, arguably for good, quote unquote, but at the same time, you know, the agency is removed from it because you can't have the power to control people's minds and use that for good. Because it's always going to be your sense of what is good. But then again, when you see Professor X go full on supervillain, as you do in the it wasn't the Marvels, it was the sort of parody of the Marvels that they did, where basically everything went wrong after the Fantastic Four went up, and basically Professor Xavier is president of the United States because he just basically made everyone vote for him, and you know the Kingpin's basically the warden of the superhero prison, where everyone is like tortured if they don't go along with Professor X's plans. Yeah. So it's a dark universe. Ruins. That's what it was called. It was called Ruins.
Professor X made everyone vote for him.
Because he could.
I know.
And he actually as much says that in I think X2, where he's like, "Listen, if I were truly an evil mutant, you have no idea what I'm actually capable of. A sexually adventurous freak." I'm not even going to go there. That's not for nothing. That's that's Weingarten. That's Weingarten's thing. You know,
John Byrne's thing. Oh no,
yeah.
Or Claremont.
Either one of them. They both like to dress up ladies in leather and have them go crazy. So,
hey,
that's empowerment, people. That's empowerment.
Hey, Lilith, did you read the Batman Damn #3?
Unfortunately,
it only took us.
I can't get that time back.
It only took us like 10 months to get 3 issues out.
I mean, they're doing better than Doomsday.
So is this Batman and Heck, or what is this?
Batman and Heck. Oh my God, Shirley.
Hey, it's a family show, Lila.
Watch your mouth.
Well, heck is a heck of a word, actually, you know?
PG double hockey sticks. It's very weird, yeah, because we got you got Constantine, and then, what is that? It was like, well, we got Swamp Thing, too. Swamp Thing.
The highlight of the issue, but again...
And then what, like...
They were told it was going to be a big show.
And then, like, that demon-looking thing at the Murder of the Waynes, and then... Like, I know Tyler and I were talking about the end of this issue, so, like, does Batman die and, like, get reincarnated as the Joker? Are they saying, like, those two just, like, die and get reincarnated as each other?
Basically. They want to intertwine Batman and Joker in this really weird way. Like, I get that's his number one rogue or whatever, but that's not how this works.
Well, first off, he's not. But second off, how do you get reincarnated as the Joker? Is he just born one day as the guy who becomes the Joker?
Well, I guess he dies, and then like the next thing they show like the Joker coming out of the water, you know, after he got dunked in the chemicals. So.
Oh, so he is Batman and Heck, and he has to face, you know, you and the Joker are two sides of the same coin, and yada yada yada.
It'd be more interesting if it was the Penguin, but whatever.
It'd be more interesting if it was any. Well, no, the Joker's interesting enough. The thing is, I don't want to hate on the Joker just because he's
in shambles right now.
Hey, Charlie, I saw something on Twitter. The Three Jokers is coming soon.
I'm sure it is. So is Fantastic Four so is the new Fantastic Four film. Okay, we'll get a little teaser for you at SDCC, I'm sure.
No, I believe that it is going to get a resolution before that Joker movie comes out, because...
Oh, the Three Joker thing?
Yeah, I think that's going to get a resolution before the actual movie comes out, because they need to, according to the plot, like, just to have, like, a general, like, foundation for what they're trying to set up in that movie. They're trying to make that whole thing, like, maybe possibly canon to their new movie. It's a weird choice, but whatever.
But the new movie actually just looks like an origin story for the Joker.
Well, I don't want to ruin anything for anybody.
Oh.
Okay, well, yeah, I mean, maybe it goes into some kind of cosmic, what is the man in white? Ooh!
Come on, Lobo. Are you up
I can't say. All I know is that I think it's not the final script. I think it was the second final script. So a lot of things can change, but it's a weird choice.
Do you sign an NDA?
I want to say this. Again, calling out The Punisher Season 3 for telling the Joker Harley Quinn story really well.
Or Season 2.
Season 2, whatever. The final season of The Punisher, where they do a Joker Harley Quinn story with, spoilers, with Jigsaw and Kristen.
The therapist.
Where you basically establishes the day. It was like, why do you think Harley Quinn was sane before she got the job? It's like, why do you always assume that, the Joker turned her insane? It's like, yeah.
Because love makes you crazy. That's kind of their theme, but...
Well,
yeah, except that crazy makes you crazy, and crazy people fall in love.
She's a pretty little blonde. She couldn't be crazy.
Yeah. But no, I'm just going to say again.
Would like to have a word with you.
Dang, Skippy. Hey, Tanya's not crazy. She just knows what she wants, just like Kristen, just like Harley. She knows what she wants. Honestly. Yeah. No, but I'm just going to say Punisher Season 2 really, really shows DC how they should make film. If they ever want to watch that might help them out.
I love his hype man back here. Anytime Charlie makes a point, you just hear, "What, Dad? That's incredible!"
Yeah, it's the second season of Punisher. It's on Netflix.
Please inform me of more about this Punisher 2 you speak of.
Can we not talk about the big two for a while? Because
Devil's Cast done?
What do you got, Lois?
Yeah, go ahead.
Spawn number 298.
Oh!
March to 300, bitches!
That's right. We're going to be covering 300, and Lois, should we cover 301 too? Because that's the one that's going to break the record.
Yeah. I'm scared. I need somebody to hold me. I don't know what he's doing. Wow. It's like this weird parody, and I'm just like, okay.
Everything changes.
Yeah, pretty much.
So this is Spawn, the Todd McFarlane masterpiece.
Yes, Spawn 290. The cover similar to Amazing Spider-Man 290.
Yes. Yeah. No, I know they've been doing a lot of Spider-Man references.
Well, his own classic, the ones he did. Yeah.
Well, basically, he's calling out all the forces of heaven and hell who are like hiding in our world. By he's gone public. He's like, yeah, I'm Al Simmons. The government had me killed. Yada yada. You know.
Yeah, it's his I am Iron Man moment.
Well, to be fair, if yeah, I mean, to be fair, the idea being that if there are these presumably cosmic forces that control all things, and yet humans have free will, then actually you control nothing. And so I can go out there and I can say, actually, yeah, no, there's a heaven, there's a hell, it's run by a bunch of idiots. And basically my job is to do whatever it is I do as the hellspawn, yada, yada, yada. But yeah, this is the story. And now heaven and hell have to deal with that.
But is it going to be like Lucifer? You either have a meltdown or you just go with it.
I mean, he hasn't come fully out because he's not telling anyone he's supernatural. He's just telling the public, like, I'm Al Simmons. Yeah, the government had me killed. Why don't you go ask them about that?
We're unraveling a conspiracy.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, that's the thing. That's the thing I like about Spawn is like people are like stuff happens. They don't have to like keep the status quo all the time because I mean his wife got killed a while back. I mean, you know, her daughter Cyan is actually grown. You know, when the book started, what was she like 5 or something? Now she's really a teenager. Like people are allowed to go age and stuff. And
well, yeah, because you don't want to.
As I understand it, the actual main character died a while back too.
What, Charlie?
Oh, I said, as I understand, the main character actually died a while back too. So.
Al Simmons.
Yeah.
Well, they did the cliche, you know, replace the hero with somebody else. But yeah, he's.
No. I mean, like the actual guy died and then he got brought back as Hellspawn. Basically, meaning that death is kind of a meaningless concept if you're dealing with immortal souls.
Yes.
But no, yeah, I can't wait for 300. But he's like, I don't know. This one, like, he's just taking the piss out of everybody, and I kind of appreciate that, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm kind of over the big two, have been for a while, so it's kind of nice.
I like Spawn, man. He shakes stuff up every so often.
Every so often. I won't say every issue's a masterpiece, because I've slogged through almost all this entire run. Let's not get carried away.
I mean, yeah, so me and Loaf are going to be doing specials on issue 300 and 301. I think 301 might be a size, too, because it's the one that breaks the record for the longest-running creator-owned book or whatever.
Yep. I mean, he's, like, started it all, so you would think.
Yeah.
I wonder if it's going to be like The Walking Dead. Okay, we reached this milestone. Can we quit now?
You know, what I find funny is I don't think Todd McFarlane sold his soul to the devil, so.
I do. But then again,
go on the nose to the devil.
Are you allowed to do that in Canada?
I know. I was like, he's Canadian, so I don't know. Is it like a maple syrup devil or?
I'm just saying. I think that Spawn actually is kind of an original idea.
Sign your soul over to me, eh?
Well, no. It's just that, like I said, the reason why I say that Alan Moore sold his soul to the devil is because all of his biggest properties are based on other people's ideas, which is not for nothing exactly how comic books are made. So, I mean, as he deconstructs things, that's always in the story go round. And he doesn't have really original characters, per se. Except, I'm sure he does have original characters. I'm sure people will tell me that his last big arc was, the last big story, I forget what it's called now, but yeah, is all original. But, you know, is it really, though? If it's based on ancient alchemical ideas of how the universe works? I don't know. But, no, I think Todd McFarlane actually just came up with an idea for a character and ran with it and made a lot of money. And actually is, if anything, a modern-day Santa Claus. Because he makes most of his money off of toys now.
Terrible, terrible toys.
Oh.
Awesome toys!
So like, I'm a toy collector. You don't understand. The quality is super bad. I'd never buy those damn things.
Oh, okay, their articulation is not good. I'm not going to argue that.
Not quite hard.
You know, articulation is a big thing depending on what you want to do with the toys. But if your main point of the toy is to have it just stand there, they're really awesome toys. I like Todd McFarlane's toys.
The pink is poor quality. Well,
how did you know that? Did you take it out of the box?
Yeah, you buy 2. It's what you do.
Oh.
Hello.
That was your first mistake.
Hello, Megan.
I mean, I just like to look at his toys. I just look at, but you can look at them on the rack just as easily. It's like any art. You look at it in the museum. You don't buy it. You know, I don't need a Mona Lisa in my house. I go to the Louvre and look at that, it's Mona Lisa.
Like I used to collect them at the early stages, and you buy 2 of everything, and you look what's under the hood, and then you realize this is overpriced. I'm good on it.
Oh yeah. Oh, well, see, yeah, and if you actually buy it, then yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty much all toys are overpriced if you buy them. You know?
Not if you buy it wholesale, but you can't do that with his stuff, so.
Well, there you go.
That's why she's all mad she can't get it on a slow boat from China. That's
yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, there you go. I honestly, no, I got no hate for Todd McFarlane. He's cool.
Selling more.
You're right. If you don't have to buy it and you never unbox it and you don't know the truth, yeah, they look awesome.
They look great.
Willis needs two of everything. One to keep in the box and one to shoot those toy pornos.
Fan fiction theater. Still waiting on a script. My Gambit and my Rogue are still waiting on a script.
I actually do have a superhero script if we want to do an audio play called Velocity. Well, technically called Velocity, and it's about the retiring sort of Batman of that universe called the Blue Gargoyle and his Robin.
He can be converted.
But he's not going to hand the mantle off to Robin. He's going to hand it off to his daughter, who's kind of a privileged wastrel. I like this story. I'll send you guys a copy of the script.
All right, gotta get Maz and a couple other people, and we'll see what we can do.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, it's great. It's great because it also has a lot of things I love about this. I wrote it to like actors I knew.
Get some Quantum Zone boys in here. That everyone check out the
all hands on deck.
Everyone check out the Quantum Zone episode 69 coming up soon. Guest starring Lil Hellfire.
You know I had to do it.
69, yeah. All right. Does anyone have anything else? Or
Wait. Because I want to say that Deadly Class was out. Deadly Class number 39. Please don't. I know the TV show was canceled, but the comic book is way better. So just wanted to mention that.
Was it? Didn't they say something like, "Oh yeah, this will drive sales of the comics" or something?
I don't know. Like I didn't really like. The TV show didn't do it justice for me. Like, it was good, but it just didn't do it justice. So, yeah, definitely pick it up if you're still into Deadly Class.
So were the ratings?
I think it was just too expensive, and they were expecting more from it. And I don't think they could get the toy rights or something like that. So, that's where it's at. Merch.
Yep.
Yep. Yeah, it was kind of a slow comic book week for me. Also, Transformers and Ghostbusters number 1 came out. Out of morbid curiosity, I picked it up.
Is it any good? I did hear about it, but I didn't read it. Is it any good?
I think you might like it. Like, I'm not into the newfangled Transformers, so.
Okay.
Yeah, it's more like kind of, I don't know. Like, I was hoping it'd be more of a classic take on Transformers. But the Ghostbusters part was really great. I just don't know how I feel about the Transformers part yet. We'll see next issue.
So that was like.
But the art was really good. It was by Dan Schooning. But yeah, the story's mostly focusing on the civil war of the Autobots and how they're leaving, and then they kind of like the Ghostbusters kind of answer their distress call. It's like a really weird crossover. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember seeing that, and I was like, I wonder how they're going to cross them up.
It was like, is Ghostbusters part of the Hasbro universe? I don't think.
I don't know. I mean, during that '80s cartoon, they had toys. So I don't know who owns this. Like,
yeah, Marvel doesn't have their hands in it, so I don't know. Because it feels like all the Hasbro stuff, Marvel has had their hand in it. So maybe Charlie knows if he can unmute his mic.
Well, Hasbro, the Hasbro Marvel Alliance. Marvel created the stories for the characters and also created the stories that were used in the cartoons, but they were separate from them. I don't know the actual current. Well, basically, Hasbro maintained the rights to certain aspects of the story within certain media. So, as an example, when Hasbro took G.I. Joe to a different comic book company, they couldn't follow the G.I. Joe stories that had already been written by Larry Hama. When G.I. Joe came back to Marvel, Larry Hama could pick up on his old stories, but could also ignore the canon from other universes.
Okay.
So, in that structure, it's a shared rights issue. Like, Hasbro owns the rights to the characters and the toys. It's like ROM. ROM can't use this. Any new ROM story can't use the Space Knights from Marvel, but Marvel can't use ROM the Space Knights.
ROM's #1 fan needs to buy those rights out, right?
How much is it?
Well, I don't know.
Oh my God, Lilith. Oh, you would be in it. You have Rob's eternal gratitude if you can get him the rights to ROM. Rob?
Can't be that expensive.
As it goes.
We pandering to Rob now. All right. Any other books?
Nope.
All right. Anything else, Charlie S?
I got a whole other show to talk my stuff.
I was going to say, yeah. All right, so let's get out of here. Miss Lilith Hellfire, pick yourself up off the floor and tell people where they can get a hold of you.
If you want to buy me a cup of coffee on the internet, you can find me on Twitter at Lilith Hellfire. If you are on the gram for my capes and lunatics and sidekicks peeps at Lilith Hellfire 69.
Be gentle with the package.
I hate that drop. I hate you, Philip.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'll give you a better one.
Dong is a medical term.
Thank you.
Oh, I love how you hate the one that just says gentle package, but then you're like, you love the full-on dong.
Got a job.
You want me to make that? Okay. You love the full dong. All right, Charlie Esser, where can people find you online if they want to talk comics, TV?
Well, if you'd like to write to me in an old-fashioned email way, the way our moms and pops would say, do so at superconnectivityblog@gmail.com. That's superconnectivityblog, all one word, @gmail.com. Of course, follow me on Twitter as I live tweet Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Unless I'm podcasting, well, it's on right now at Charlie Esser. That's CharlieEsser. Look for the 2 E's in the middle.
For quality.
Bing!
All right.
Sorry, I forgot the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. comes on Fridays, but I work Saturdays. I'm sorry.
It's fine, Lilith. I mean, I recorded it anyway. I have to watch it 2 or 3 times before me and Miles talk about it. So anyway.
He's got enough said now, remember?
I know, but you still got a live tweet for that fan interaction. Life pro tip.
If you say so.
Yes. Anyway, for another week, we have been the Capes.
Ampersand!
Lunatics!
Yeah! Such enthusiasm at Lilith Hellfire. I am a miracle worker.
Woo! It's okay, I'm just going back to bed. That's all.
Hell of a new river. Going back here next week, everyone. Have a good night.